supposed to have her right now." That's the line in the deputy's report, dated July 24th, 2024. Not he crashed his car, not he was tased. That line about custody comes first. Remember that. It matters later. Picture this: a blood sugar monitor strapped to a man's arm, blinking red, while he drives 40 miles an hour down a city street with his daughter in the backseat. That's the whole case in one image. A medical device screaming for help and a badge reading it as a crime scene. Before we go deeper into what the body camera actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to Police Misconduct Case, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence.
Lincoln 5 continuing southbound, almost striking vehicles on oncoming traffic between the center median and the bike lane. Speeds are 37, moderate traffic. Can you advise the SO?
They're online now.
40.
Copy, TC at 2400, go.
Lincoln 5 TC, across from Antique Society, start code 3 medics.
Copy.
Police! Turn the truck off! Turn the truck off! Lincoln 5, high-risk stop. The exact numerics are going to be 2580 Graph South. The car. Step out of the car right now. Step out. Step out. Look at me. Step out. Step out. Go down to your stomach. Down to your stomach right now. Down to your stomach. Down to your stomach. Go down to your stomach right now or I will tase you. Go down to your stomach right now. Lincoln 5, taser deployed. Stay on the ground. Stay down. Stay down. Get on your stomach. Roll over on your stomach right now. Roll over! Get on your stomach! I will keep tasing you! Stay on your stomach! Do not move! Arm out! Arm out!
Here's what we know. On July 24th, 2024, dispatch calls it a high-risk stop. In plain English, officers believed the driver was dangerous, so they treated him like a threat before they knew anything about him. He was swerving. He wasn't stopping. To a patrol officer, that pattern looks like one thing: drunk driving. So they draw their weapons, order him to the ground. And when he doesn't move fast enough, they deploy a taser. Here's the irony. He wasn't drunk. Controlled forensic fury. That's the only way to describe what happens next in the footage, because the story doesn't end with the taser. It gets more complicated. The mother tells responding officers her ex-husband is type 1 diabetic, and then she says something else. There's a custody order. He isn't supposed to have their daughter that day.
Force by police is governed by the Fourth Amendment, and the Supreme Court held in the 1989 case of Graham v. Connor that the reasonableness, and therefore the constitutionality, of a use of force is judged by weighing the severity of the suspected crime, whether the individual poses an immediate threat to the safety of officers or others, and whether the individual is actively resisting or attempting to evade arrest. The court also instructed that reasonableness must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene based on the facts known at the time, rather than with the benefit of hindsight. Officer Whitehall's conduct.
He was crashing, medically. Type 1 diabetes, blood sugar collapsing, a malfunctioning glucose monitor that never sent the alert it was supposed to send. He told officers afterward, "I never saw your lights. I never heard your siren." That's not a suspect's excuse. That's a textbook description of a diabetic blackout. That's not the voice of a man evading police. That's a father, tased and cuffed on the pavement, asking about his kid before he asks about himself.
2010 case of Brian v. McPherson, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over California, held that a taser is an intermediate, significant level of force that requires a strong governmental interest, and found its use excessive against an unarmed individual who was not fleeing, was not threatening anyone, and was at most passively failing.
So here's the question this case really turns on. When does a medical emergency legally become a criminal stop? Under most state vehicle codes, officers are trained to distinguish between impairment and incapacitation. But the training only works if there's time to observe it. Here, there wasn't. The stop escalated within seconds.
Go down your stomach right now.
The taser deployed before a single field sobriety test.
So at this point, he's got all the signs, like the objective signs, but all that can just be diabetic as well.
Explore the child custody thing.
Yeah.
Find out, run a 26 on him, and then I'll provide her the mom's information and see if we can find that court order. Okay. See if it says that he's not supposed to have it. There's a arrest for that. Yeah. But the thing is, we're going to have to sit with him. Now, nobody has told him he's under arrest yet. Has he been Mirandized?
He's been Mirandized, and he's going to answer my question.
Okay. Did you ask him any of the FST stuff? Okay.
Yeah, so be advised, the review unit can come in a little early, they'll be around.
Hey ladies, do you know who this is? The man with
The only thing was asked if he had anything to drink today, and he said no.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only FST question.
So, are you hearing? Nope. This guy is diabetic. Yeah, I know. I heard. It's probably not a deuce. It's probably a diabetic issue. Let's see. He's saying that he didn't seek lights. He didn't know we were trying to stop him. He thought there was something wrong with the car. So we'll do the whole FST, investigation thing.
Get blood taken.
I talked to Mom. She said he's type 1 diabetic. When I told her he was in a crash, she said, "Oh no, he's a diabetic."
Yeah, and it could very well be. I heard the number.
Yeah.
These guys told me the number. I heard the gal. Yeah. So it absolutely.
The other thing is he's not supposed to have a daughter right now. There's a court order for child custody arrangement, and he's violated that.
So, and the other thing is, diabetic fits like that.
Yeah.
Everyone I've been in, they're short-lived before the blackout.
You said he was unresponsive when you pulled him over.
Yeah.
You weren't getting anything from
So that could have happened. But the travel from downtown to here, the highest rate of about 30 miles an hour, most were between 20 and 30. That's an awful long time. Because the diabetic episode can be induced because of the alcohol you ingested.
So you did the Miranda thing. Find out about the. Is he coherent?
Oh yeah.
You're able to talk to him.
And the dad in me hopes it's diabetic.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. I don't want to think about that poor, beautiful little girl having to live with that.
So start working.
So is Mom on her way?
She's headed to the hospital.
Okay, good. So if that gets extended at all, just get a hold of Sarge at Sonoma County just to let him know what's up.
Yeah. He was aware. I gave him the phone number for the mom so that his deputy can.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Oh, you got a hold of him before you
There's
took
a
off.
deputy over there waiting with the daughter.
Yes. No, I know
And,
that.
the sergeant. Yes.
That's what I
talked
said.
with their sergeant.
So
and
you
gave
got
him the
Sarge,
phone
you got that?
number.
Okay, good.
So work the DUI,
I'll work the deuce.
foul engagement, and the pursuit and all that aspect, but see if we can do FSTs with them.
Okay.
They're going to probably want to take him to the hospital.
No, they released him
okay
to
with
us.
releasing him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I figured we were going to take him anyways.
He won't be able to go to jail until he's medically cleared.
Yeah.
So if it goes that route, we're taking him to jail, then it's going to be he'll go to the hospital anyway.
Now the case forks into two separate stories running side by side. Story 1, a medical emergency misread as a DUI, ending in a taser deployment that may not have been necessary. Story 2, a father who, regardless of his health condition, may have violated a family court order the moment he put his daughter in that car. And in the back seat, his daughter. The officer's own words on the recording. That's my baby.
Civil rights lawsuit that Mr. Callahan filed following this incident also alleged force and injury beyond what the footage shows, claiming that Officer Whitehall pushed Mr. Callahan's face into the pavement and that a Sonoma County Sheriff's sergeant knelt on his shoulder and pulled his right arm behind his back with enough force to break it. If those allegations were proven, a court would likely find that these additional uses of force also violated the Fourth Amendment.
Anything to drink today at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't drink.
You don't drink at all?
No, sir.
Okay.
I do jiu-jitsu. I train over at Terrell's. I got a brown belt.
Would you be all right to doing a preliminary alcohol breath test later on today?
Anytime.
Okay.
Right now, anytime.
How do you feel right now?
I feel better now that she gave me some sugar. I
Okay.
feel my brain's working. But when you first put me in the car, I didn't know what. I had no clue what was going on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. Your first name's Jeff, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jeff, hang tight. I'll roll this window down, so if you need anybody, just holler. All right.
Thank you.
What's that,
My
Jeff?
baby, the most important thing to me is my daughter.
Your daughter?
She's okay.
That was your daughter in the car?
That's my baby.
Okay.
That's my...
I think she's okay. All right. I think she's okay. She went to the hospital in an ambulance, but from everything I saw, I think she's going to be okay.
So what are we at? Where are we at here over here?
I don't think this is a deuce.
I think it's a diabetic issue.
I think it's a diabetic issue.
Yeah. From what I talked to Mom,
Okay.
she said he's type 1 diabetic, and there is a court-ordered custody arrangement. He's not supposed to have her right now.
He has the little blood thing on his arm or whatever. He said it wasn't operating correctly. So I'll let him know that his blood sugar was tanking. He said he never saw my lights. He said he never heard my siren.
That's all consistent with diabetes.
It is, yeah. So at this point, I don't. He's got all the signs, like the objective signs, but all that can just be diabetic as well.
Explore the child custody thing.
Yeah.
Find out, run a 26 on him, and then I'll provide her the mom's information and see if if we can find that court order. Okay. See if it says that he's not supposed to have it. There's a arrest for that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we're going to have to sit with him. Now, nobody has told him he's under arrest yet. Has he been Mirandized?
He's been Mirandized, and he's here to answer my question.
Okay. Did you ask him any of the FSP stuff? Okay.
Yeah, so be advised, the review unit can come in a little early. They'll be around.
Hey, ladies, do you know who this is?
The only thing was asked if he had anything to drink today, and he said no.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only FST question.
So, are you hearing this? Nope. This guy is diabetic. Yeah, I know. I heard. It's probably not a deuce. It's probably a diabetic issue. Let's see. He's saying that he didn't see lights. He didn't know we were trying to stop him. He thought there was something wrong with the car. So we'll do the whole FST investigation thing. Get blood taken. I talked to Mom. She said he's type 1 diabetic. When I told her he was in a crash, she said, "Oh no, he's a diabetic." Yeah, and it could very well be. I heard the number. Yeah. These guys told me the number. I heard the gal. Yeah. So it absolutely. The other thing is he's not supposed to have a daughter right now. There's a court order for child custody arrangement.
Section 278.5 of the California Penal Code makes it a crime to take, keep, withhold, or conceal a child with the malicious intent to deprive a lawful custodian of their right to custody or another individual of their visitation right.
Both can be true. That's what makes this case hard. And that's what makes it honest. This isn't a channel that picks a side before the evidence is in. It's a channel that lays the evidence on the table and lets you see both files at once, the medical file and the custody file. Ask yourself the harder question. If the monitor on his arm had worked, if it had buzzed 30 seconds earlier, does this story end in a hospital? Quietly?
They're short-lived before the blackout. Which when you said he was unresponsive when you pulled him over, you weren't getting anything from So that could have happened, but the travel from downtown to here, the highest rate of about 30 miles an hour, most were between 20 and 30. That's an awful long time, because the diabetic episode can be induced because of the alcohol you ingested. So you did the Miranda thing, find out about the, is he coherent?
Oh yeah.
You're able to talk to him? And the dad in me hopes it's diabetic.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. I don't want to think about that poor, beautiful little girl having to live with that. So is Mom on her way?
She's headed to the hospital.
Okay, good. So if that gets extended at all, just get a hold of Sarge at Sonoma County just to let him know what's up.
Yeah. He's aware. I gave him the phone number for the mom so that his deputy can...
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Oh, you got to hold him before he
There's
takes
a
off.
deputy over there waiting with the daughter.
Yes. No, I know that.
The sergeant, yes.
That's what I
talked
said.
with their sergeant.
So you got Sarge, you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So work the DUI,
work the dues.
foul engagement, and the pursuit and all that aspect, but see if we can do FSTs with them.
Okay.
They're going to probably want to take him to the hospital.
No, they released
okay
him
with
us.
releasing him?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I figured we were going to take him anyways.
He won't be able to go to jail until he's medically cleared.
Yeah.
So if it goes that route, we'll take him to jail.
Although the available footage ends while the officers are still on scene, court records and news reports document what followed. Despite concluding that Mr. Callahan was likely suffering from a hypoglycemic episode, Officer Whitehall continued his DUI investigation and administered a horizontal gaze nystagmus test at the scene. His arrest report stated that Mr. Callahan's eyes exhibited a lack of smooth pursuit and an onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees, findings consistent with intoxication. However, the complaint alleges that the body camera footage of the test shows no such indicators. Officer Whitehall then transported Mr. Callahan to a hospital, where he consented to a preliminary alcohol screening test, which registered a breath alcohol content of 0.000%, and to a blood draw, which later came back clear of any intoxicating substances. His arm was x-rayed and placed in a cast and sling, and by the time that he was released from the hospital bed to which he had been handcuffed, he had spent nearly 5 hours in restraints. A little after 10 that night, Officer Whitehall booked Mr. Callahan into the Sonoma County Jail on suspicion of felony vehicular evading, felony child endangerment, and resist. 14th, 2025, 1 year after the incident, Mr. Callahan and his daughter filed a federal civil rights lawsuit in the United States District Court for the Northern District of California against the City of Sebastopol, Officer Whitehall, Sergeant Fensky, and Captain James Hickey, asserting claims including excessive force, unlawful detention, false arrest, conspiracy to violate civil rights, and false imprisonment. By the time that the lawsuit was filed, Officer Whitehall had left the department to work for the Petaluma Police Department, and Captain Hickey had retired. In early July of 2026, the City of Sebastopol announced that it had reached a $1.95 million settlement of the lawsuit, stating in its news release that the settlement was not an admission.
With no camera at all? That's the difference a working piece of medical equipment makes. That's the thin line this entire case sits on. The body camera footage from July 24th, 2024 doesn't answer whether the custody violation should have changed how officers responded to a medical emergency. Neither does the incident report. That question is still open.
Of liability. Overall, the Sebastopol officers get an F for using significant force against a citizen who was not actively resisting, continuing to detain and ultimately jailing an individual after the evidence pointed to a medical emergency, and maintaining an accusatory posture throughout an encounter that called for medical attention rather than suspicion. Officer Whitehall tased Mr. Callahan 3 times while he stood with his hands raised or lay on the ground, with no weapon visible, no threats made, and no attempt to flee. And the governing constitutional standard permits that level of force only when a strong governmental interest justifies it. Nothing in Mr. Callahan's conduct supplied that interest, and the circumstances apparent at the time, including the low-speed crash and the driver's dazed condition, should have prompted consideration of a medical explanation, as officers are trained to do. Once the medics identified the hypoglycemic episode and the breath test registered zeros, the justification for treating Mr. Callahan as a criminal suspect was gone, and yet the officers kept him in handcuffs for nearly 5 hours, pursued a custody theory that the child's mother had already refuted, and booked him into jail on felony charges that the district attorney ultimately declined to pursue. Arresting and jailing a citizen whose innocence has been established by every objective measure available reflects poor judgment at every level of suspicion on scene, and the officer's insistence on treating confusion and incapacity as defiance carried that air through each stage of the encounter. This interaction highlights the importance of recognizing the signs of a medical emergency in the field, and the harm that follows when officers commit to a criminal explanation before the evidence supports one. Now, as for Mr. Callahan, I cannot rightly assign a grade to an individual who was suffering a severe hypoglycemic emergency and had no meaningful control over his actions. However, it is worth noting that nothing that Mr. Callahan did that day suggests wrongdoing. He took his insulin as prescribed, relied on a monitoring device that failed without warning, and was spending an ordinary afternoon with his daughter when his blood sugar dropped. Once he regained coherence, he answered every question, he disclosed his medical history, and consented to every test requested of him, all of which supported his account. He then pursued his remedies through the courts, filing a federal civil rights lawsuit that resulted in a $1.95 million settlement. I commend Mr. Callahan for his cooperation under circumstances that he did not create, and for seeking accountability through the judicial process rather than